People, what is going on? Today, we're back here with another 10 team PPR mock draft, this time from the number 2 spot. We were rotating from 10 to 12, going back and forth, but we've been getting more views at 10, so we're going to stick to 10. If you want to see a 12, comment, let me know. I'll easily pop a video out. But otherwise, we're going to stick to 10 right now because we need some views up in here, dog. So, we got same settings as usual. One quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, one tight end, one flex, one kicker, one defense, six bench spots. Don't draft a kicker defense. Let's get it started. So, first two spots, guys. Bijan or Gibbs, what are we thinking? It's going to go back and forth until the season starts. For me, I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs because he's going to be a bell cow, guys. He's going to be the bell cow. The offense is still going to run through him. Gonna try to install that, whatever. But unfortunately he got taken, so it's gonna be Bijan Robinson. It's important to get a bell cow running back, and there is a tier break. These guys get the most points in fantasy football, besides quarterbacks, but you don't draft quarterbacks in the first. But for me right now, no brainer. It's Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, it's Bijan Robinson, so we're taking Bijan. It sets us up nice in the draft too. I'll get to that. Why taking a running back is really good. But Puka, Chase, McCaffrey, JSN, Jonathan Taylor, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, James Cook, Devonta Smith, Ashton Genty, Kenneth Walker, Drake London, Hampton, Nico Collins, AJ Brown, and we're up. Would have loved if AJ Brown fell. So we're in the second round now, right? Running backs, Achane, Brown, Barkley, Love, Henry. I like those five guys, but we took a running back first. Now, looking at the board, we have one guy on the side, right? It's highly unlikely he goes double running back, okay? So if we take one wide receiver, there's good odds that Achane or Chase Brown or Saquon will follow us. One of them is going to follow us at least. So, is there a wide receiver here that we're obsessed with that we love? And keep in mind, third round, Josh Allen at quarterback looks amazing too. For me, I really like George Pickens and I like Rashee Rice a lot. I like both of them a lot. Olave, yes. But Tyson coming in is always a scary thing. He's still going to get his, but also to the blood clot and the history of concussions, yada yada. I draft to win, so I'm still gonna be drafting Chris Olave in my drafts. But is there any players right here that I think are game changers? Chase Brown, I think is gonna ball out. I'm not big on HN this year. I don't like the offense. And two is a check down merchant, so not really sure how it's going to work out with Achane. I just see higher upside with Chase Brown. So Chase Brown or Barkley is one of the two guys I'm hoping fall to me. And then Pickens or Rashee Rice are my top two for wide receiver. I think I would rather have Chase Brown more than the other running backs than Pickens than Rice, if that makes sense. So since Chase Brown is my most valuable player on the board, I'm going to take him and hope this other guy doesn't go double wide out. If he still does, I will be okay with Chris Olave, but I'm willing to take that risk. So give me Chase Brown, and I'm saying this because I'm not going to take Josh Allen in the early third, just because I think there's some really good talent here available, and I still think I can get a Tyler Warren in the fifth round. So I'm trying to paint that picture, guys. Trying to paint that picture. But if you want Josh Allen, take him in the third. It would better to go RB wide receiver instead of double up. But give me Chase Brown right here. Their defense, a little better, tad better, but still dog water. And Joe Burrow hopefully could play healthy. We saw what Chase Brown did last year. Just consistent. He's the guy. Taj Boyd, Samaje Perine, not really taking anything from him. and he gets a lot of targets. 14 in one game is absurd. But even even if Joe Burrow gets hurt, we've seen him still be a viable fantasy option, and the more he keeps playing, the better he does. So give me Chase Brown. If AJ Brown was there, that'd be a different story. I think I'd be going AJ Brown. But oh look, looky here. Saquon Barkley and Devon A. Chain, double running back. What are you doing, fools? Roshan, definitely a fool in my eyes. Uh, yeah, so you could be a psycho and go love, but I see some wide receivers here, and I think we need an alpha. We could try to get an alpha here, but I don't like the idea of that. I want Josh Allen right now would be lit, but we need some wide receiver depth, and I think let's see. Let's see their stats, right, from last year. Their points, what we're looking at. 269, 150, but half the season, right? Times two, 300. Quick math. And George, 291, did awesome. Now, if we're looking at George's numbers, CeeDee Lamb was out for some games. Now the defense is still kind of the same. So if anything, it's between George and Rashee Rice. Pick your poison. Uh, I think Dak always supplies yards. The only thing is, I just hate not having a number one wide receiver as my number one wide receiver, if that makes sense. I don't want Lamb to still be hyper targeted and George have a down season. I think I'd rather take the risk on Rashee Rice. I think his targets are always guaranteed every game. It's a bet on him playing the whole season. But regardless, when he plays, I'm still happy with his results. I just think that the Chiefs are going to bounce back. And, like I said, you can't go wrong if you choose Pickens over Rice. It's another pick your poison. But sorry for not giving you a right answer. But at the same time, I'm not giving you a wrong one. These guys will be better than Olave. So give me Rashee Rice. So we're going to see a lot of names come off the board because that's what happens in a draft. Josh Jacobs, Trey McBride, Jeremiah Love, George Pickens, Derrick Henry, Malik Neighbors, Brees Hall, Brock Bowers, Teta Iroa McMillan, Chris Olave, Josh Allen starts a quarterback run. T. Higgins, Drake May, Garrett Wilson, Kyron Williams, Zay Flowers, and Rob. So we already have two running backs. We don't need to push the button. Are there any running backs here that I'm like, hey, you need to be on my team? No, there isn't. Let me go through why. Javonte Williams, I get he had a great season last year and he's balling out. But I just think in fantasy it always happens when someone's drafted like 17th, ninth round and they bump up. There always seems something to happen that they just fall back down again. I would rather just wait and get someone like Bajal Tootin, David Montgomery. I really think this is the type of rounds where you can get a wide receiver that can make that step up, like JSN. So we're not going to look at running back at the current moment. Wide receivers, I've been talking about Lad McConkey. If Keenan Allen comes, Lad McConkey, his ADP is going to go down. This is why I'm not taking him right now because I'm scared. I think the Chargers will sign someone. But if they don't sign someone, draft, 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 draft. Hit that button. Uh, Waddle, he's going to be the number one, but you never really know how the targets shares are going to be split. We haven't seen anything yet, so that's betting on something that we haven't seen. Bo Nix does great. Coming back from an injury, he'll be fine. But the Broncos have the number one offense in the NFL. I mean, sorry, geez. Number one offensive line in the NFL, right? They're going to run the ball. They got Dobbins, they got RJ Harvey, and they got Jonah Coleman. Okay? I expect them to be good and up in games. Yes, Waddle's going to get his, but there also is that gut feeling where you're just like, They might not do good this year. They have high expectations. They were in the AFC Championship, but we've seen it before. Quarterbacks go in their sophomore slump. I think Bo Nix is 100. Oh, wait, was his third year now? Regardless, he popped off last year. I think we're used to seeing those quarterbacks go in some slumps. So, no, not looking there. I'll tell you where I'm looking at. Tyler Warren and Loveland. I want to get one of these tight ends. And right at the turn, this guy, I do I care about what tight end I get? Yes, I do. I care. I want Tyler Warren. But if I don't get him, I'm okay with waiting to get George Kittle later. I'm very okay with waiting. Ibuka is a risk this year, and I'll tell you why. He could be the next JSN. But at the same time, if you look in the back half, he wasn't doing so hot. You look in the front half, you see his upside, right? We already have Rice. We already have our number one. But there's a man named Baker Mayfield, and he has great seasons. He has terrible seasons, but his great season, he does great. And last year wasn't a good season. Wasn't a good season for him. It was all right. He fell off. They missed the playoffs. Why is that? Because your boy got hurt in week 2, and he's tough, and he played through. He's going to be healthy to start the year. He's going to be getting after it. Mike Evans is gone. It's going to be Ibuka's show. Now, I don't know if Ibuka's going to be good. I don't, but I am willing to take the risk. Why is that? Because I already have my number one in Rashee Rice. And if I'm taking someone risky, I could be looking at Godwin also, and you need to hammer wide receiver. So we're going to take Emeka Egbegbue. Emeka Egbegbue. So, McConkey, Burden. Now, Burden, I think, is dope too. So, I might have to, start comparing Ibuka or Burden. I'll let you know on that, but not McConkey. I'd probably prefer the other two over McConkey. So, we're up. It's the 5th round now. We're not going to get a quarterback. I want to wait. Although I will say, it could be nice to get a Devontae Adams, get some more depth at wide receiver. Waddle in the 5th could be nice. Again, you don't know how it's going to fold out. I told you I like George Kittle. But yet, Pittman's gone and Tyler Warren's going to be automatic with Daniel Jones. Looking at Lamar, there's always an issue with him, honestly. It's kind of sad. Always an issue. 2024, there wasn't an issue, but semi-issue. I would just wait on a quarterback. Yeah, I'd be fine with Trevor Mahomes late. And I still could draft George Kittle if I want to, if my sweetheart desires. Warren or Devontae Adams. I would love to take Devontae Adams here. I think if I'm looking at someone where I'm like, I just want to try to start them every week, he's that guy. I just think taking him over Waddle might be semi-crazy. I don't know if someone like Evans is going to be there too. Could take the upside risk on Marvin Harrison. It's 10 team. It's really important to take the positional advantage though. In 12 team, you don't really need to. So I'm just going to hunker down and take Tyler Warren. And we'll see who falls. Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, Kamara's back in town, guys. Don't draft Etienne. Waddle, Swift, Devontae Adams, Loveland, Lamar Jackson, McLaurin, Burrow, Judkins, Jameson Williams. Growing on Judkins a little bit. Jaden Daniels, Cam Scattaboo, Tucker Kraft, Bucky Irving, do not draft. Kyle Pitts, and we're up. So we're going to wait on quarterback. We made that decision. Even though Jalen Hurts, good value, we're going to wait. Maybe. Maybe. I need to talk myself more into Jalen Hurts. Still consistent, still a good offense, still cute Philly, not Philly, still the touch push. Montgomery interests me a little bit. I don't think he's going to go double running back. It might be smart to take one running back here. We did take the tight end, so now it's like, hey, we should really try to go for a wide receiver. I could see myself going wide receiver running back here. Mike Evans, I like the upside. I think he's going to ball out. I think, the touchdown potential's there. It's the same thing when Adams went to the Rams. I could totally see Mike Evans balling out. He's never had under 1,000 yards, guys, until last season. He is a touchdown. You know, people dial in on him, right? Just counting the games where he didn't get hurt in. 1, 2, 3 out of 6 games, like half, maybe a little under that. They're gonna target him in the end zone. That's a fact. And Marvin Harrison would be the risk here for me. You don't know how the season's gonna go with him. If I take Evans, I gotta hope Godwin as my number 3 wide receiver. Actually, no, sorry, as the number 4. I'd be okay with that. Or Pittman. So I know I'm gonna get a fourth. I'd be okay with that. So I'm gonna take Evans for the upside, and I'm gonna get one of these running backs here. I think it's more important for me to get Tootin. I would be okay with Montgomery though. And I still think he's going to take a quarterback or tight end, one of them. So I think I'm fine if I take Evans here, and that's what I'm going to do. So Evans, Jalen Hurts, Henderson, and we're up. Excellent. We are going to take two, and I have the gut feeling the Jaguars are going to be good. Gut feeling they're going to move the ball. Gut feeling to not worry about Chris Rodriguez. David Montgomery is an excellent pick here, too, people. He is what the Texans have been looking for. They have a great defense, so game script wise, they're going to be up in games running the ball out. Whether CJ Stroud sucks and gets replaced by Davis Mills or Stroud's in, they're going to want to run the football, and they have a good offensive line. But I just have that feeling. I just have that feeling with the Jaguars. I'll go back to the rankings. I'll look. I'm going to take two in here, but you guys make that decision. Do your research. So we got two in Warren, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Christian Watson, David Montgomery, RJ Harvey, Rome Adunze, Jarian Price. Be weary because there's some weird stuff going on with George Alani on who's going to get a lot of handoffs. Rico Dowdle, Carnell Tate, Chuba Hubbard, Ramondre Stevenson, Jordan Tyson, Brian Thomas, Tony Pollard, Jonathan Brooks, and we're up. We got 3 running backs, okay? 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. We're going to wait at quarterback, guys, because if each team gets a quarterback, we still have a chance at Mahomes. I don't care if my quarterback's on waivers. I do not care. Let's build the depth up because there's always quarterbacks like Jacoby Brissett and Daniel Jones that don't get drafted and Jackson Dart that just hop in. We need to build depth, people, and we already got one positional advantage at tight end. So you just got to trust the process. Marvin Harrison for upside. Chris Godwin honestly for upside because if Ibuka fails, Godwin's going to do good. Still a solid start. I would be okay starting him as my 4th wide receiver. I think Harrison's great. I think Pierce is 100% going to get targets. They paid him all that money, but I think I'd rather take the risk on Harrison game script wise too. And Pierce has never been a number 1. Not worried about Michael Wilson. He only really does good when Harrison's out. I'm not worried about any of Metcalf or Sutton. Waddle's there now. I think Pittman's going to be the number 1. That's my bold take this year. So, do we really want Kenny Gainwell? Do we really want Rashad White? Do we really want J.K. Dobbins? I think, I just think that I'm going to be starting these three wide receivers every week, regardless. And you know I'm going to start Bijan, Chase Brown, and have Tootin as my backup guy. So I could wait another round on running back. I think I could roll a three. The reason why I say I could roll a three is because A, I watched that waiver wire. B, I'm looking out for the handcuffs right now. And I feel confident in making those picks. So I think right here I'm going to take Harrison for the upside, and I think I'm okay with Godwin or Pittman following me. So we're going to take Harrison. Shouldn't have followed me. Monungai, Corum took the wrong two running backs. Never like I just don't see it happening with either of them. Swift's always consistent. I don't think he ever falls out. And I think Corum just is never going to pass Kyron. I love great handcuff though. Now, we took our upside shot on Marvin Harrison. We realistically, I like Gainwell, but we would be betting on a Bucky Irving injury, which I see likely. I see that happening. And the same thing with Rashad White. He's going to be in on passing downs, but at the same time, he could take over JCM for the running work. Not sure how that's going to happen, but he's going to be out there a lot. But if we get Chris Godwin, that's a backup for Ibuka, and I still feel solid about that. Quentin Johnston, Dobbs later on, they could be our fifth, whatever. I would feel more consistent with Godwin just because I am confident with running backs and playing it very thin. I'm going to take Chris Godwin. I'm taking the risk on Harrison. I do not need to take the risk on Alec Pierce, but Godwin's going to give me a lot of depth and someone consistent. And I like what he did down the stretch. I mean, it looks a little but if you look right here, I like that. And Baker's, going to be healthy. So give me Godwin. And let's take a look at the board. Aaron Jones, Mekhi Lemon, J.K. Dobbins, Josh Downs, Kenny Gainwell, Rashad White, Pittman, JCM, Cortland Sutton, Parker Washington, Jordan Mason, DK Metcalf, Alec Pierce, Michael Wilson, Tyrone Tracy, Quentin Johnson right before us, and we're up. Always happens, guys. Always happens. We got five wide receivers, three running backs. Now, Pearsall could be a handcuff to Evans. See, that's how you could play it, guys. Pearsall and Dobbs could be the next two picks for us. Who are handcuffs that we're looking out for? Taj Boyd, P. Ryan, that's a little sketchy. Atlanta, Brian Robinson. Two and Chris Rodriguez. I'm not concerned about the handcuffs right now. If they fall to us, great. If they don't, whatever. I'm just not taking them right now. And there's always Dylan Sampson. They're going to be behind the games throwing. We could wait more rounds. So I'm perfectly fine with taking Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, we're going to take him first because I need time to think about my second pick. So Jacoby Myers, Addison, right? There's Harold Fannin. See, now he's going in the 11th round. When people are drafting him in the 6th, 7th round, when Kittle's on the board, that is abysmal. I've said my piece about Fannin. Now, we're gonna have a lot of depth, really. So I'm okay with taking another wide receiver right now. Call me crazy. We're gonna have a lot of depth at wide receiver. So give me. Well, you know what? I say that, right? I say that. It would be nice to get a second tight end too, though, because they're gonna score points. Like if we look at where are the projections? Outlook 164 if we look at tight ends. 183. Laporta is a new OC. Lions offense is always fireworks. So this point of the draft, you could be like, all right, I could take more tight ends. I guarantee you they'll be gone. I'm not sure why Sleeper has them going later. But I like Laporta for the touchdown upside, Kelsey as well, and Kittle. Romeo Dobbs isn't going to be a stud, so I have to be like, all right, got to prioritize these guys. And I can still wait on handcuffs. So we're going to take Sam Laporta. Kittle gone. So, you got to pick your order Laporta, Kittle. Kittle, Reed, Brian Robinson, handcuff gone. Wandale Robinson, Xavier Worthy, Shakir, Kelsey, Chris Rodriguez, another handcuff gone. Yeah. So that leaves actually, who's our other running back? We have Bengals running backs, which is a little suspect. Herbert, Algier, Fannin, Kincaid, Ferguson, Andrews, Prescott, Kamara were up. Now this is the point where quarterbacks are taking doubles. I'm okay with Lawrence or Mahomes. So, and I stick by only drafting one. Yes, it might be appealing to draft two. Only get one guy's trust. And you could really just base it off of who you like in the first week matchup. Cleveland has a good defense. I'm not sure how Lawrence will do there. Mahomes might not even play week one. We got to see. But if he does play week one, and I think he will, because he's that dude, man. Patrick Mahomes is that dude. Who are they playing? Denver, also a good defense too. I'd probably just oof. It's not a matchup I love for either of them. And Denver week two. Ay, ay, ay. Philly, Houston, he kind of has a rough schedule to start. Let's take a look at the rest of the games here. Indy, Miami, Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, Mahomes is who we're looking at. So we're going to hold off on quarterback and probably take Mahomes next just because with the double quarterbacks going now, not risking that. Um, and is there handcuffs that I want to take? I like Samson as that safety play. It's not even letting me click his game log. What's going on, people? I like Keaton Mitchell as a handcuff too, behind a great offensive line. I'm gonna roll him first, and then I'm gonna get Patrick Mahomes. Gadsden, Goddard, Mahomes, Goff, Woody Marks, Trevor Lawrence, Jonah Coleman, Hunter Henry, Zach Charbonnet, Tajay Spears, Dylan Sampson, defenses, kicker, blah, blah, blah. Don't draft kicker defense. Watch my other videos as to why. You could just drop them right before the start of the season. Listen to training camp and how everything goes, guys. So we have 2, 3, 4. If I'm gonna drop two other running backs, like I'd be okay with dropping Keaton Mitchell. Just see how the offseason plays off. I'm good with my wide receiver core, so we're gonna draft two running backs here. Um, Pacheco, not really gonna get a lot of work. Great handcuff to Gibbs though, if Gibbs ever went down. Um, Saquon handcuff, good as well. At this point, like I get it. If like P Ryan's always going to be there, that's my gut feeling. If you see Taj Boyd get a little bit of work over P Ryan in the start, pick him up. I'll play it risky. I'm just going to take Pacheco here. And then, don't forget about Diggs. Don't forget about Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, yada yada, Deebo Samuel. I could take a running back right here, but we're going to take either Dobbs or we're going to take Diggs or Keenan Allen, but we're going to take Diggs. He's going to sign soon, guys. If you want to play really risky, don't draft a lot of wide receivers and pick up your depth there. But yeah, guys, if you just look at our team right here, Patrick Mahomes is going to have a bounce back season. Weighted only one quarterback. Tight end, Tyler Warren got the positional advantage, taking one quarterback or tight end earlier and just building up on the depth and the other position just waiting on. Running backs, Bijan, going to be our centerpiece. Chase Brown, love him for the upside. And Tootin, I'm confident that's the late round guy that's going to pop off. Even with David Montgomery, too. Big on Tootin. Don't worry about Chris Rodriguez. Yeah, we got our picks taken, but like I said, I like to play it thin on running back. Just monitor the waiver wire. Know what handcuffs you need to get. Uh, project injuries if they happen. Who's going to step up next? Just keep an eye on it. Pacheco, great handcuff. He's not going to get any playing time. So this is a hold or drop situation. And then wide receivers, we got Rashee Rice, our centerpiece staple. Abuka, I see the upside there. If not, still be solid with a healthy Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans, touchdown upsides there. One season under 1,000 yards. If he sucks or gets injured, you guys will know. Okay? Same thing with Godwin. If they get injured, that's why we have the depth with Marvin Harrison and Ricky Pearsall. We got Laporta. Another great depth piece if you need to start in flex, or if, let's say, Daniel Jones gets hurt, he steps up. So just have your rankings, do a lot of mocks, and you guys will be good. But anyways, thanks for watching another video. Comment below if you want to see 12 team, any questions, anything that I missed, why didn't you talk about this person, blah, blah, blah. Comment it, and I'll let you guys know. But until next time, peace.